We are aware of the pain that has been caused.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
It's over! It's over!
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are back in the limelight for all the wrong reasons once again. This time, Ashton's association with Puff Daddy. The drama has them doubling down on plans to move away from Hollywood and build a new life in Europe instead. At least according to our sources, Ashton is so exasperated that once again he's being dragged through the mud because of his past associations. So this insider is like, look, first it was Danny Masterson, now it's Puffy. It's got him convinced that there are way better places out there to live than Hollywood. In his view, the town is just a cesspool at this point. For the unversed, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis once wrote letters to a judge in support of Masterson after he was convicted of a lot of things that we can't say, claiming he had been a good person. Unfortunately, the letters went public and the couple faced massive backlash from the fans online, leading to them eventually apologizing via Instagram, and Ashton stepped down from his role as chair of his foundation that was fighting against SA. The couple, who met on the set of That 70s Show back in the late 1990s, spent their summer in Europe and even took their offspring to night 2 of Taylor Swift's Eras tour at London's Wembley Stadium. They had such a great time in Europe, and in many ways the idea of moving there is top in their list right now because they figure that would be such a great place to live, raise everybody. It would be a much more grounded lifestyle. Now, the source said the only thing that's stopping them from making the move is work, because they still have a lot of business interests in the US, a lot of investments, so the concern is that Europe might be too far away. The couple has made business investments in California, so that's kind of being an obstacle right now, as they consider moving countries. If the pair does decide that an international move is a little too drastic for their family, apparently Ashton Kutcher has his sights set on another location to call home. According to the sources, Northern California is very appealing to Ashton because he loves being around all the tech entrepreneurs, and he thinks that's somewhere where maybe everybody could have a normal life. The bottom line is this couple wants to take their family out of Hollywood, be a family somewhere more rural, away from all the superficiality and backbiting. They've just had it with Hollywood, and just going up to Montecito isn't enough of a clean break. They'd like to get much further away. The A Lot Like Love actor came under fire following the September 16th arrest of Puffy on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and other things that we can't say, and fraud. Old interview clips resurfaced of the Iowa native making light of her close relationship to the Bad Boys Records founder. So Ashton said that they became fast friends. He mentioned this during an appearance on Hot Ones back in 2019. He said, "We used to just hang out, watch football together." In a separate resurfaced interview, Ashton laughed when asked about the depravity that went on at these infamous parties, saying, "I got a lot I can't tell." So, from the opposite point of view, asking the "I'll be missing you" rapper, he said he and Ashton became friends amid the latter's success on MTV's Practical Joke series, Punk'd. He said, "Yeah, I gave Ashton a call one day and said, I heard you're gonna punk me. I don't think that's a good idea. If you do that, that will not end well for you. But I think we should work out a deal." He mentioned this during an interview on The Late Late Show with James Corden back in 2018. We've got to say that while Puffy has denied all allegations against him, he is currently behind bars at the Federal Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, awaiting his trial, set to begin May 5th, 2025. Now, there might be yet another criminal case that Ashton's looking to run from in the meantime. So, if we're going back in time, on a February night in 2001, Ashton thought he had been jilted after his date didn't answer the door. He thought he spotted some spilled juice through her window. Turned out, wasn't juice, it was bodily redness. The then up-and-coming star had planned to take 22-year-old fashion student Ashley Ellerin to a Grammys after party. Her body was found by her flatmate with 47 wounds the next day. Ashley's convicted life taker, Michael Gargiulo, was sentenced to death in 2021 for her loss of life and that of his neighbor Maria Bruno. So her passing is sadly resurfacing now, 20 years later, because of all the hullabaloo in the last 5-ish years with Ashton and all of his other controversies. Actress Christina Ricci seemingly called him out on Instagram, by the way, with a warning to awesome guys who have been proven to be awful privately, and comedian Kathy Griffin weighed in, saying that people that feel like they had to stick up for Danny because he was their bro, and recalled her attempts to send her brother, Ken, to prison for crimes he committed, that I can't list, just as a comparison. But one response caught more attention than the rest, that of Chrissy Carl Bixler, the former girlfriend of Masterson and one of 3 women who accused the actor of harm, who posted a very cryptic message to her Insta story. She said, "Dear Ashton, I know your secrets your role model keeps for you, ones that would end you. Did you forget I was there? You were on speakerphone that night you called Danny on February 21st of 2001. I heard everything. I heard the plan. In my opinion, you're just as sick as your mentor. So it was assumed that Bixer was referring to the passing of Ashley, who died that day in 2001. Now, she later clarified her statement in an Instagram comment, saying he was in his car for over an hour outside of Ashley's house speaking with his manager about what to do to protect his career and reputation. Well, now the internet has obviously hit the ground running with theories that, maybe Ashton lied about the passing, maybe he was involved with the crime itself. During the 2019 trial, Ashton gave his testimony to the court saying, "Oh, I didn't discover she was, passed away until the next day." Then he called the police before they could figure out his DNA was on the door handle. According to what we know, he visited the residence around 10:40 p.m. after speaking to her 2 hours prior to confirm their plans. And he said, "Yeah, no, my fingerprints are on the door. I was freaking out." He was like, "Let me tell you what happened." He was, rambling to a cop. So because he fully cooperated with the investigation, he was never treated as a suspect. And he had like a whole 40-minute long testimony in great detail describing everything we've talked about today. But he said, "Oh no, that wasn't alarming. I thought it was just leftover from a party from days prior." Well, make that of what you will, folks. See you next time.